Hello everyone, this is Darius Young, and welcome back to our Sonic the Hedgehog series. In this part, we're going to make some shape keys for the hair and ears so that we can get some more natural movement in our walk cycle. Also, we're probably going to make some for the tail and these two fins, I guess is what they are. I have no idea. Yeah, so let's get started. So, if I hit Alt-A, play my animation, this is a pretty decent walk cycle here. But you notice everything looks kind of stiff, and that's because, you know, the hair isn't moving, neither are the fins or the tail. So, in order to make this look, you know, less like a robot or something like that, we'll add some shape keys in here to enable each, I think these are called quills, to move up and down, something like that. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning of the animation and let's go into our dope sheet. So let's extend this window here, click on the timeline button that you see down here next to the word view. Click on that and go to dope sheet, and then if we open our rig layer here, we can see all the shape keys that we have in here. I'm going to change this from dope sheet to action editor and see Sonic walk. Okay, so I loaded the walk cycle. So now so if you haven't saved the walk cycle, just click under where it may say rig action. Just click that and type in whatever you want your animation to be named, and then make sure you click the F button next to the 3, and then your animation will be saved. Now we can just hit X and get rid of it, so we don't need it right now. We just need to be focused on modeling. Well, not modeling, but making shape keys. So let's join this area by right-clicking this bar here, and then it'll see a arrow on whether you want to open, if you want to extend the dope sheet area or do you want to extend the model area. And we're going to extend the model, so like that. And there we go. So now, to get working on the shape keys, just want to select every bone in the rig and hit Alt G, R, and S so that we can just focus on the model as it is. Now to make shape keys, what we do is we go into the Object Data tab, and then underneath where it says Shape Keys, click the plus button. And then you'll see a basis pop up. This doesn't really do anything, it just makes sure that this is like the default stage of your character, and then whatever changes you make, they'll actually be the shape key. This is just like stamping that this is the default way it's supposed to look. So then we click plus. Once you click basis, you'll see a word key pop up. Now, make sure key is selected, and let's go into edit mode on our object here. So what we want to do is select a point on each quill and slightly move it up. So let's do that. I'll just select these. Just hit C and just left click in the side view, and you'll make the process of selecting them a lot easier. Next, hit Alt O to turn on proportional editing, and just hit G and move them up. Maybe left click your 3D cursor right there, hit period on the keyboard to have the rotation around the 3D cursor, and hit R. I think that's better. Don't need to move that much. Okay, so that's the first shape key. And so now, if we go where under the word relative in our shape keys tab, where it says value, if you click on that slider, you'll see the quills move up. Okay. Now we want another one to have a kind of like downward movement when he takes a step. So we'll click the plus again, and this is key 2. Make sure key 2 is selected when you hit tab in the edit mode so that you can actually be working with the basis when we edit key 2. So now just hit R for rotate and rotate it down this time. There. And now if we move the value slider, you'll see that we have a downward motion going on. Now we may want to do the same thing with the tail. So we'll click the plus button again, and this is key 3. So we're going to select, we're going to hit tab and go to edit mode, A to deselect all the parts that we have selected, and then hit C and select the tip of the tail. Next, oh, I don't think I turned on my screencast keys. Start display. Okay, good. Next, just hit G and move it up. And hit Control comma to make sure that the object rotation is around the selected area. Just want to rotate it a little bit and bring it up. Okay. And if we click on the slider, you'll see that the tail moves up and down. Oh, just up. Now, if we click plus again, add another keyframe. With the tail still selected, let's just move it down a little bit and rotate it. Okay. So now, we have the tail moving down. And I guess we'll have some slight movement in here too, so... But before we do that, we want to name all of these. So, if you double click the word key 1, we'll name this hair up. And then we double click key 2, we'll name this hair down. Whoops. Gotta fix that comma. That shouldn't be there. There we go. Key 3, this is the tail up, right? Okay. So we'll name key 3 tail up. We'll name key 4 tail down. Alright. So, let's finish making our shape keys here. So, next, click the plus button again, hit tab, need to deselect, select these points here, maybe here and here as well. And let's just slightly move this up. Okay, and then check the slider. Alright, we'll name these Quill, I think that's how you spell quill. We'll name this spikes here, let's see here. Spikes up. And then we'll move these, whoops, click plus again. And then we'll move these down just a little bit. Then we'll name these spikes down. Now normally it will be a great hassle to animate each of these shape keys individually, so we're going to have to make some driver bones to speed along our process. So what we're going to do is select our rig now, hit tab to go to edit mode, and I'm going to select, well, the head bone's already selected. I guess that's a good bone for the quills here, so we'll just hit Shift D, duplicate that bone, and that's a good scale right there. And so this bone. We'll name this bone. Where's the naming it? Object. Transform. Properties. Item. Here we go. We'll name this bone hair control. Whoops. Okay. And to get this bone here to actually control the hair, we might want to unlock all these location constraints here. We'll lock all the rotation because it's not going to be rotating at all. Good. Okay. So, in order to get this bone to actually move the quills, we have to add drivers to the shape keys, or the shape keys in the mesh. So, what we're going to do is right-click on hair up. No, right-click on this on the zeros next to hair up, and click Add Driver. Now, to actually see our drivers, we have to extend this window here, and then we have to go to the graph editor, which is somewhere here. Next, changes from F curve to drivers. Underneath or next to the word key, hit N to bring up. Where's a T? No. One second, I'm trying to extend this window again. So under the word key, click the down arrow and then click on value hair up. Now we have to assign it a bone. So let's go to the object here. Go to, what is that? Is it the rig or the meta rig? This is rig. Okay, so select the word rig and then select the bone. Type in hair control, and then we want it to move on the Z, so let's do Z location and local space. Of course, add a modifier, make it a generator, and now let's see. Okay, we have to make some adjustments here. Let's change the type from scripted expression to maximum value. See if that does anything. Okay, there we go. So now we have some slight movement here. Now we have to edit the values on the Y here, or the X here. So let's move this up. Yeah, let's move this up, and then let's see what happens when we mess with this. You may have to click on the bone again so it'll update. Okay, so it seems like it's moving up when I move it down. So let's turn that to a negative. There we go. So now it's moving up when I move the bone up. Let's do Alt G. Let's make sure. Oh, I see. Interesting. Okay, let's change it from Z location to Y location and see what happens. Whoops. Still moving down. Okay, let's change that back to a positive. Let's see what happens. There we go. Okay. So now if I hit N and lock this bone's location transforms to only the Z-axis in the 3D view, or I guess the Y-axis, we should be able to get ideal move. There we go. Okay. So that's our shape key for the hair up, but we also have to put the shape key for hair down on the same bone. So let's right click this purple thing there and click copy driver, and then click down here where it says hair down, and then click paste driver. Then click where it says hair down and make this a negative 4.4. So type in minus 4.4, and that should enable it to move down. Yep, okay, there we go. So now we have the hair moving up and down. Good. So that is one problem solved. Now we have to make another bone for the tail and the fins here, just so we can have some, maybe if we want some individual movement we can. So let's do that. So let's tab into this rig here, Shift D to duplicate the head bone again. I want to scale this down, and I guess this can control both. And so next we're going to name this spike and tail control. Now when you're doing shape keys, you can make as many as you want so that it can have as much movement as you want, but I'm just giving you all a general idea of how to do it, so that you can do it yourselves if you feel so inclined. So next what we're going to do is right click here, right click on that, right click on the two zeros next to tail up, and click add driver. We're not pasting it this time. Okay, make sure you change scripted expression to maximum value, change this to rig, change the bone to spike and tail control, change it to Y location, and change it to local space. Update dependencies, and last but not least, add a modifier and make it a generator. And let's change this from 1 to probably 3. That's probably work best. Now if we click on the bone, whoops, we have to unlock all this location constraints and lock all this rotation. And let's see. Okay. So the tail moves up when the bone moves up. That's good. Now we can copy this driver here and paste it down here. So now let's click on tail down and change this from 3 to negative 3. Now it moves down when I do that. So now let's click on these spikes. Let's copy the tail up driver. Well, actually we already copied it, so let's just paste it again. And there shouldn't be any complications with it because we want it on the same bone. So yep, okay. And now so my video stopped, my audio wouldn't record right at the last part. So basically what we did was we finished copying that, select that. We copied the spikes with the tail down driver to the spikes down driver, and now if I move this up and down, everything works fine. So you can animate with that, and you can make more shape keys if you need to, or you can leave this as it is. So for future character tutorials, I'm going to have you all vote on a specific character or a tutorial that you want to do. So basically just write in the comments what you want me to do next, and I'll do it. If I get 20 votes for a specific character, then I will do that character. If I get 20 votes for a specific tutorial, then I'll make that tutorial. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Have a good day.